Hey guys, what's going on? Super Deathbot here with the third review for the Thor Ragnarok wave, and here we have Loki. I like this figure. I think they did a pretty good job on him. I think the likeness is pretty similar to Tom Hiddleston. Once again, with just like all the other figures, I think that the sculpt work on the costumes and the paint work is some of the nicest and cleanest I've probably seen in a while. And the fact that they made a lot of the stuff out of soft or rubber goods to help with articulation. You can see the gold on all of these details. There's nothing touching the green at all. Everything colors are very similar to the inside of the cape to here. The paint is not messy at all. I have not found many paint blemishes on any of these figures. I don't really have any gripes with the sculpt or paintwork of any of these figures at all. These are made of rubber. This is so it can move up and down. My biggest gripe with him, as you can see, this shoulder pad, I'll probably have to heat it. It does not want to stay in. And as I mentioned in the previous reviews, they tried to attach their capes in different ways. I think they did a good job on the capes and all the paint on the capes, but the attachments, not so much. They leave something to be desired. You can see the two pegs in there. This one looks a little warped. It was warped right out of the package, but I think it's an easy fix, so I'll work on that. He looks still pretty decent without his cape. I mean, I think his body type out of all of them is maybe lacking a little bit, but I think he's still a pretty solid figure. Articulation wise, he's pretty much the same as Thor. The shoulder pads don't hinder his arms moving in any way. His hair does kind of hinder the articulation a little bit. His head goes down forward pretty well, and it does go up pretty well. But the hair kind of limits the side-to-side movement. He has maybe one of the best but also weirdest ab crunches I've seen. I mean, he goes like full exorcist mode here. I mean, he can just break his back with articulation. And kind of the same thing forward. I mean, I think it's cool because you could get him in some funny, like a pirouette being a sarcastic ass pose. And it is ratcheted, so I think that's cool. This can move up and down to not hinder that articulation. His legs go out pretty far. He has the double knee joint. He has the double elbow joint. Wrists go up and down all around. And then he has the toe goes down really, really far. He does have ankle rocker, so, everyone gets excited about that. The wash and everything on his black boots, the bolts, it's all done really well. I mean, as far as taking pictures in, any sort of bright lighting, it is really shiny, but maybe that is the way it is in the movie. We haven't seen it yet, so obviously we don't know. The hair could have maybe used some paint apps, and maybe the suit could have used some dry brushing or some washes, but overall, clean paint. And I'll take clean paint over, messy dry brushing and wonky lines. So in this lighting, it's kind of hard to tell, but these bands here are a slightly different color than the rest of the pants, so that was pretty cool because they didn't have to do that. The details on the armor and the paint are really nice. Loki also comes with his headdress. I think it fits onto him fairly well, so that's pretty cool. I actually like this one a lot better than I like the one from the previous movies from the Avengers. I can't say I love that one a lot. I didn't when I'm watching the trailers and not the movie, but the trailers for the movie. I didn't think it really looked that good in the movie, and maybe I'll still feel that way, but I don't think it looks terrible on this figure. I think it's pretty cool, and I like that it is form-fitting to his face and doesn't really have any separation. It's pretty good. He doesn't come with much, so he's a pretty simple review. He's got this kind of the same articulation as Thor. He doesn't come with an extra head sculpt, but this one is pretty good. He doesn't come with any sort of other accessory, which I kind of hate when Hasbro does that. At the very least, if you're going to give me a figure that's like this with no accessories, and I don't know if there's something he could have came with from the movie, I'm assuming there is, but, give us some hands. Give us some other stuff like that. I mean, I'm not one to really complain about much. I think they've been doing a better job. I don't want to beat every little thing to death because they are $20 action figures. They're not an import or $100 price tag where they can give you everything. But, you got some figures who come with, 2, maybe 3 heads and weapons and alternate hands. And then you have a figure like this who comes with a cape and a headdress, no alternate hands, no other weapons or anything like that. So I think out of the 3 figures, just based on sculpt, paint, and the accessories, he's the most lacking. But I still think he's a pretty solid Marvel Legends, even compared to some of the ones that come out in the past few months. Overall, I think this wave is shaping up to be pretty cool. I can't wait to get Ares. I can't wait to get Son of Odin Thor and Girl Thor or Thor and see how awesome they are and build the Hulk, because that Hulk is awesome. So I think this is a decent figure. If you're not a huge fan of the figure itself, or the character itself or anything like that, I wouldn't say like this legend is so cool that you have to go get it anyway. But if you're a collector and you like Loki and you're excited for the movie, I think it's an absolute pickup. So hopefully you enjoy. Thanks, guys. Bye.